Good morning, St Phillips. Our powerful learning framework focus for this week is the disposition of investigating. As learners, this disposition of investigating is all about developing a deep sense of curiosity and a skill set to effectively investigate key questions in your learning. That word, curiosity, is going to be a key word that I use all the way through this, so listen for that word. In 2024, the life we live is the direct result of people who have gone before us who were curious learners. These were people who were willing to look at the world differently and question what they saw. These people then went on a journey to discover if there is a better or new way of doing something. God actually created us to be curious. In the Bible, the book of Proverbs, which is a book of the Bible that was written to pass on knowledge and wisdom, says this in chapter 18, verse 15. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. I'll say that again. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. As a small child, each and every one of you went through a phase where you would have asked all the why questions. From the age of 2 until about 5, why is one of the most common words a child uses. But the questions don't stop there, because as humans, we are wired to be curious. Our brain was created in such a way that when we become curious about something we want to know or understand, a chemical is released in our brain called dopamine. The dopamine acts as a reward to our brain when we learn something new, and the dopamine then helps us to remember that new idea that we have just learnt. Isn't the brain incredible? Albert Einstein, who is one of the world's most famous scientists, was responsible for developing scientific theories that have helped millions and millions of people understand the world better. One time when he was asked about why he was so clever, he said this: "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." Albert Einstein understood the importance of being a curious learner who was willing to unlock the power of investigating in his learning. Another famous man, Leonardo da Vinci, is often well known for being an artist in the Renaissance period, which began in the late 1400s. But he was also one of history's most brilliant engineers. Long before the manufacture of his inventions were actually possible, Da Vinci invented the helicopter and the battle tank. He came up with designs for mechanical looms and hydraulic saws, and he even drew plans for submarines and robots. Da Vinci was committed to investigating the world around him, being curious and looking for solutions to problems that existed. Another famous inventor was Alexander Graham Bell. He was a teacher of people who were deaf, and he came up with this idea of something he called electronic speech while visiting his hearing impaired mother in Canada. This led him to invent the first microphone as a way to amplify a person's voice so people with hearing impairments could hear. He then later developed something that he called the electrical speech machine, which we now call the telephone. The telephone was an invention that changed the world. Among one of his first inventions after the telephone was something called the photophone, a device that enabled sound to be transmitted over a beam of light. Every piece of technology has been discovered because someone went on a journey of investigating. From fire to a mobile phone, from electricity to the internet, and even hot showers. Do you know that people have only had the invention of a hot shower in their homes for about 100 years? They weren't regularly installed in houses until the 1920s, and it didn't become normal to have a hot shower in a house until about the 1950s. All of these things are something that we often take for granted. Mobile phone, fire, all of those things. We take them for granted. But they were things that were discovered by people, and those discoveries changed the world. These inventions are the result of curious learners who asked questions about the way the world is and went on a journey to investigate answers to those questions. I encourage you, St. Phillips, take the opportunity today to develop your skills of investigating. That verse that I spoke about at the very start from Proverbs 18 verse 15. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. Remember this verse because really wise people seek out answers and try to gain as much knowledge as they can. You might have a curious question about the world right now that you might need to go on an investigating journey to find a solution. And who knows, one day you might discover something that changes the world. St. Phillips, have a great day.